Hey everybody, welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning, and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you're at in the world. You guys, God bless you and peace be with you. Just an FYI, please know that my readings are timeless readings, which means it could be 10, 20, 30, 100 years in the future from now. I mean, if YouTube still exists 100 years in the future, that would be dope. But yeah, that you hear this message. And again, in this reading, there's going to be messages for you. I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on this platform at your leisure. No need to rush. Each reading is going to hold an Easter egg of personal knowledge for you to decode about your personal journey. Okay. So, and I love that these readings bring forth the truth so that you can learn from other people's experiences and become closer to your higher self, aka God. That is my hope and wish for you guys, is to that in these readings to learn how to use your discernment so that when you are in the real world, let's just say that you using your discernment, it becomes, like first nature, becomes easy. All right. So I will not be doing a reading tomorrow. If you guys are watching this in real time, just an FYI, due to the fact that it will be the 4th of July, and that is my country's birthday. And so I have things that I need to do tomorrow. So I won't be doing a reading tomorrow, but I will be talking about freedom today. And I am doing a reading today, just to let you guys know. All right, so making sure that my cards are in the upright. So by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled, please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you are agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comments, or anybody in the chat. And if you guys could like this video as you come into the chat, make sure you are subscribed. All of that really, 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 really helps keep this platform alive. And I am eternally grateful for all of your donations, all of your support, all of your likes, your shares, your subscribes. Just to let you guys know, if any of you have any personal questions, that you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question, and I'll set a 20-minute timer. That is the way that I am doing personal readings at this time. Okay. So tagged in the products attached to this channel. Oh my gosh, that tea is so good. And linked in the description box below, you are going to find some books. Now, all of the books that are tagged in the products are books that I have found have helped me throughout my spiritual journey. The two that I'm going to be talking about, just very briefly and reading the back of the books, are, well, first, The Truth of God, which is an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael STEADMAN. Now, if I have time at the ending of this reading, I will go through all the techniques that I used from this book. But there are many techniques that I use during the reading that come from this book that I feel like are so valuable. It's definitely worth the purchase. And this is a book that you will use more than once. I use the techniques from The Truth of God in my day-to-day life every single day. So I'm going to read the back of the book. If you guys are interested, get The Truth of God, you guys. Use the techniques. I cannot stress that enough. Everybody that comes to me that has issues, that wants me to fix their issues, I can only do what I can do through the techniques of The Truth of God. If you were to get The Truth of God and start using the techniques, you can do the same things that I can do for yourself, and you can do them consistently. Okay. So this is why I suggest that this is the source material behind a lot of what I do. And I just want people to be aware of that. So I'm going to read the back of the book to The Truth of God. The truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable, creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those emotions and ideas that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of. If you guys have ever heard anybody say inner self, excuse me, that's what we're talking about. Okay. The second book I'm going to talk about very briefly is the book that I have written. Now, it is called Vassago, Vassago, Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, written by me, Astraea Love. I'm going to read the back of the book. I wrote this book to teach people how to read cards for themselves and for other people. So Astraea Love, which is me, is a psychic intuitive that has been living between the spiritual and the physical world since she was a little girl, playing with the fairies in her backyard. She has helped countless people find answers to their questions about their life experiences with the help of the Most High God, providing inspiration in many forms. This book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. And I wrote this book off of the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I've got the quick and easy original Rider-Waite Tarot. If you learn the interpretations from these cards, you can go to any specialty deck. And when they give you an abstract picture that has nothing to do with what the card means, you'll have the original. In fact, when people ask me questions and I pull cards from another deck, I always keep this one around, because if the card that I pull gives me a wacky picture or a wacky interpretation, then I always want to go to the original to get the original. Okay. All right. So yeah, this book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be. Welcome everybody coming into the chat, to pull cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite Tarot deck for all explanations. It includes spells and rituals for each of the 22 cards. Different card combinations descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. Okay, so now that we're going to get into the reading, I hope you guys are having a good day. If you guys could like that video, I would greatly appreciate it. I need to see the likes getting up. Tap the notification bell. Make sure you are subscribed. All of that is very, very important to support this platform. So that's an equal give and take. I support you, you support me, and so on. All right. So freedom is here and now. And I think that a lot of the times when it is that we are talking about freedom, we could be feeling restricted in some type of way. But freedom is accessible right here, right now. We just have to be willing to see it, to look for it, and then willing to make choices that align with our freedom, okay? And so I feel like it's a very important part of the process to continually choose freedom, okay? Freedom of speech, freedom of financial freedom, emotional freedom, mental freedom, okay? Freedom means that we're not being held back, we're not being limited, we're not being taxed. I mean, obviously everyone has to pay taxes, but we don't have to pay taxes like just to let you know, over in England, they pay twice the amount of taxes. So like if you make 50,000 a year, they pay probably like 30,000 of taxes, okay? Like they pay twice the amount that we pay over here in America. So anyways, because they're paying a king. We don't have a king in America. All right. I mean, I'm not for sure why they paid the king, but I don't live there, so none of my business, right? Okay. So, you know, The things that bring about freedom are going to be your personal choices, what you can do. Also, just a reminder for those of you that have personal questions that you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. So I'm just going to make sure that my energy is okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So just to let you know, when I close my eyes and I go within, I'm using the techniques from the truth of God. And that is just so that I can make sure that we're starting the reading on the best foot forward and that I'm not dragging any of yesterday's beliefs or whatever is going on in the past into the future. So, all right, let's shuffle one more time, then we'll cut the deck, and then we'll see what we have. Also, share this content with other people. If you feel like, if you know other people that could benefit from these readings, share this content with them. Post it to your social media. All of the exposure that we can get and these messages as fast as we can get them out to the public, the better. Strength. I do feel like when it comes to freedom that, there is a level of strength in that. And being able to stand on your own 2 feet, being a free person. And not only that, I love the Strength card. The Strength card represents Leo. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance if I have to stop the reading because somebody is bullying and harassing and being a crazy person. Then that's what I just have to do just for a second. So I can write their name down so that I make sure that they don't ever come back. Okay? Because like I was just clearing the energy from these demonically possessed people. That I don't want them coming into my reading. I mean, I want people in their reading, but I don't want people who are possessed by demons coming in. Okay? So I just have to do what I have to do to get rid of that. Okay? And because in the past few days, these people have been returning. Like, it's not bad enough that I report them for bullying and harassment and being a crazy person, but then they come back the next day like a total loser to bully me again. And I'm not putting up with that. Straight up. That is insane. Like, these people that don't like me, that have such a problem with me talking about God or whatever their demonically possessed issue is, why don't they just go watch content that they like? Why do they have to come into the chat and then start bullying everybody? Like, everyone realizes that these are mentally deranged people that don't even deserve any attention at all. Like, cancel and rebuke, accuse and report to the Most High God and the Holy Spirit. God, I'm tired of these insane people. Okay, they're never going to seek help. They're never going to listen to the advice. So why are they coming onto my platform since they are not here to benefit from the truth of God? Like, why are they here? I guess it's the same thing as why did demons follow Jesus around stalking him? There's this new TV show. It's called The Chosen. I've been seeing like little clips from it. Oh my gosh. I love Jesus so much. He's so cool. Anyways, it's about Jesus's life. And yeah, some of the clips that I've watched are so cool. I'm trying to find it on all the streaming services. I haven't found it yet, but once I have found it, I will let you guys know, because it's awesome. And it actually goes through that, like, I've always been, when I was in Catholic school, maybe it was just the church I was in, but we focused on the steps that Christ took with the cross. And then obviously the holidays of like Christmas and Easter being born and rebirth day. But besides that, we didn't really go through like a lot of Jesus's life. So the Chosen, it just fills me with such a good feeling watching those little clips. So this is what just came out, judgment. Maybe these people are very judgmental. Okay. It's okay for people to have judgments as long as they're not directing it at other people who, look, I get that people want me to find a new job. I am disabled. I cannot work. This is the work that I can do. This is the only thing that I can do. And it is what it is. I'll do it for the amount of time I can do it for. Other than that, it's nobody's business. What I'm doing is not anybody else's business. Okay. I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone. So why do people care? You've seen all the seasons. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That makes me so excited that there's more than one season. I didn't even know. I was thinking maybe it was relatively new. So these people do feel like they're up under judgment because they're not free spiritually. They're being bound by demons. Okay, this is why these people behave like this. Because think of it logically. Would normal people, and I cast the demons out of them, by the way, and back into the pits of hell where they came from. But why would like normal people be so ready to jump on and attack another person? Like Jesus has never asked anybody to go crusade and go assault other people. You're never ever going to hear Jesus say, yeah, it's okay to go attack that person. Like never. Okay. So obviously they're not operating from Christ. They're operating from their own drives and their own, or their demonic, whatever the demons are upset about today. I don't even care. All right. What else do we need to know? So these people are up under judgment because judge not that you be not judged. Don't judge other people because you don't know how God is using them. And that way you'll be free from judgment. And I think that that's an important thing to know. Okay. The Emperor. So forget the fact that this person looks old. I feel like you guys have mastered something. You're standing in your power. You're calling your energy back, and you're standing up to these people who are literally full of demons. That's like if you have a narcissist who will not stop taunting you and trying to provoke you, you know that there's something in the background going on. Now, if there are curses, hexes, spells, jinxes, whatever, we cancel and rebuke that. We bind it up. We cast it into the pits of hell where it came from. But if there's not any of that stuff, and this is just people being psychopaths, okay, because it is psychotic to go gang stalk a woman that you don't know, that these people need mental health therapy. I don't know what to say about that. First of all, I don't think we should be ganging up on women. Secondly, I think it's really inappropriate in every type of way to be harassing people we do not know. Because like I just said, we don't know how, I have the ability to see things, but I don't know to the full extent of what God knows, how God is using you. And like we have from our little pigeonholed ego experience, we have a perspective, but God's perspective is much greater than that. God can see the beginning, the end, the middle, and everything else. And so this is why we give these people to God. And that's why I will continue to accuse and report their behavior, knowing that this is the outcome of it. They will be put up under judgment, and for the harsh things that they do and say to others, they will suffer the consequences of that. Because I'm really sick of this woke lefty bullshit, cancel culture. That's what it's called, where some weird ass person who's mentally deranged and insane, by the way, or possessed, which is basically the same thing, goes around trying to cancel people because of their personal opinion. I'm sorry, but people's personal opinion does not outweigh God and the Holy Spirit's opinion. So these people are experiencing judgment and they're like, oh, why are we being judged? What are you talking about? Did you not just go to others to judge them? Like these people were not trained to be a judge. That's not what their job is. Like literally, they're not a professional judge. They're a woke, weirdo, whack ass person that doesn't have any common sense about them and does not know the Lord. They do not know God. They do not know Jesus. They claim to know Jesus, but they don't, because Jesus is peaceful. Jesus didn't go around judging people for suspected sins. And this is what it is. These people suspect shit. They don't even know anything for sure. They don't have confirmation. They don't even have an internal system of intuition. Because I could guarantee that if these people had any type of intuition, that they would literally not go around judging God's chosen people. So, because that's just going to lead to destruction in one form or another. That's why Matthew 7:5 says, judge not that you be not judged. Don't judge. Everybody is walking a human path. Okay. We're all having a human experience. Why is there people that are so disgusting? They have no compassion for another living person. They look at someone and think, because that we're on the, like, it could be that you're doing something on the internet, so they are objectifying you. And this is something that my therapist, psychiatrist person told me, is that, that when you're interacting on the internet with people, if it's your job, like let's say you have a job like at a call center, I mean, it could be any internet job, right? Where you're having to interact with clients or clientele or people, that they're just thinking of you as a voice on the other side of the phone or somebody in the chat, right? Like, you know, on websites and stuff, like if you're customer support, they're not looking at you like a real person, because they don't have face-to-face contact with you. Like even if they see your face, they're not in the same room as you. They could be calling from wherever. So they're objectifying you, treating you more like an object than a human being. And you know, when people go around not treating people in a humane way, it shows a lot about their character, not about yours. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you guys for subscribing. But yeah, it shows much more about their character than it does about yours. 10 of Pentacles. You guys are being gifted. You're being rewarded. There's a reason for this. Nothing happens just by accident. Like, these people are the type of people that run around thinking that everything is accidental, because in their life, probably every child that they've had was on accident. They didn't mean to do that. Probably every time they get fired, that's an accident as well. They didn't mean to screw up. And these are normal life things, right? But you live your life intentionally. When you live your life intentionally, all of these accidents of being an irresponsible human don't end up coming your way, right? So the fact that you have property, that you have a home, that you have support, that you have God, pisses these people off, because they feel like they should have it. But no, these people would stick their nose up and treat you like you're garbage. Okay? Enough. Because no person is better than another person. The only thing that can make us have better experiences than another person is the choices that we make, the words that we make, the actions that we take. That's the only thing. Other than that, we are all made up of God's energy. We are all a part of God's plan. So, you know, if God needs every piece of the puzzle to come together, or every, what are they called? Chess piece, maybe they're just called chess pieces, pawns, whatever they are, every part on the chessboard to move in a certain way to create the bigger thing that God wants, which is an ascension for humanity, then that's what's going to happen, okay? Regardless of what anybody thinks or says. And when we allow God, the divine, our higher self, to have the control, and we just, you know, God, do with me what thou wilt, we allow God to use us as a vessel for God's greatness, then we are in alignment so that the time that the blessing comes in, we're right there to receive it. These people want to judge you because you did the work. You did the shadow work. You went in and healed. You dragged up old wounds, brought them to the surface and worked on them. And now you're in a position to receive blessings. And they have not done anything with their lives. And so they're pissed off. Okay. It's called jealousy. Ace of Swords. And they're mad that they can't remove this protection. They're pissed off that you get to remain a free person. Well, first of all, everybody was born free. We're not the property of our parents, and we're not the property of anyone but the divine, okay? And this Ace of Swords is God's protection of your crown, of your regality. This is telling me that it's in a perfect time for you to commit yourself to doing good things, you know, for your body, for other people. But not, you know, don't be helping people to the point where it breaks you, okay? Because that there has to be a boundary. And what I love about God is that when we won't put up boundaries ourselves, God will assist us in doing that. And that's what I'm seeing here is that, okay, there is now a boundary put in place. Anybody coming to try to judge you is going to be judged immediately because these are sinners. These are not people who have, like, these are people who have made generous amounts of mistakes throughout their lives. And like I said, nobody is perfect, okay? But there are certain people like you guys that have never been in a fight physically, never hurt anyone physically, that have never, you know, done certain things. And that is what makes you closer to God. Maintaining control and moderation over your life. And following, you know, a divine path. That's what makes you close to God. I mean, sure, there was times I could have gotten in fist fights, but I didn't. There was surely times that I could have lied, and sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. Everybody has had different experiences. And so who are these people to judge one person from another when they're not qualified? Why don't we let God be the judge? Seven of Pentacles. These people are sitting around waiting for something to turn in their favor, and it's just simply not. It's just not. It's not meant to be. You could be starting a new career. You could be working on a new project. You could be doing a new business. You could be expanding on a spiritual idea. You could be committing yourself to doing healthy routines, right? God wants us to live long, beautiful, healthy, happy lives where we are one with our society, one with community, and one with nature. Now, these people want to disconnect you. They want to disconnect you from God. They feel like, oh, you're not worthy of God. You're not good enough. Who are they to say that this is the spirit of the Pharisees, which we rebuke. The Lord rebuke the spirit of the Pharisees. People that are like, oh, you're not good enough for God's love. Why don't we let God decide who God's going to love? Knight of Wands. And I literally get that this person is, they are so quick to like rush to acting on something that this is what gets them in trouble the majority of the time. If it comes to something that they shouldn't be doing, they're so quick to just run and act on that they don't even think about what the ramifications could be if something goes wrong. And this could be somebody that wants you to be with them and you don't want to be with them. You don't have to be with this person. You don't have to interact with them. All they can do is stalk you on the internet. That's literally it. This person doesn't even have enough money, gas money, to drive to your location. The Chariot. This is what I was just talking about. That's the vehicle card. This person doesn't have enough gas money to even come to where you're at. And if you feel like someone has doxed you, doxing is when somebody takes your information and puts it on the web. You know, see what research you can do to find out where that person's IP address is coming from, and then go give it to the police. If you find out that somebody has taken your address and put it on the internet for other people, for other stalkers, go, you know, start building case so that you can take these people to court. Because that's inappropriate. That should never be done. 10 of Swords. This person was so gung-ho about sticking 10 swords in your back that they didn't even see the other 10 people running with swords coming to stab them in the back. And this is why you don't betray people. You don't create conflict for the sake of conflict. No, this person's home life is being interrupted because they wanted to call judgment on you being able to live in a house. They wanted you, no, they've got to be in an apartment. No, they've got to be out on the streets. This person's an evil sadist person, and they will never be satisfied with seeing you down and out. Even if this person were to see you down and out and get the high of thinking that they did it, they're going to know that God is not judging you. Because every time this person has tried to attack you and bring you low, God has brought you higher. And there's evidence of that. Queen of Swords. And also, you've stepped into your empowerment season and you're not allowing people to just do whatever they want. For what reason would we sit around and allow somebody to systematically abuse us? Not if I can help it. I also get that in this matter, the police will be on your side. People need to stop harassing other people. Okay? If you got a problem with somebody else, leave them alone. That's my best advice. Let them live their life. Stop judging them. You don't know what's taking place in their life, and you don't know what God's doing in their life either. So don't attack them. Don't just go around randomly attacking people because you think that your belief system is better than theirs. That's just a belief system. And why I say that is because these people end up attacking the wrong person, and then they immediately get 10 swords put in their back. And the divine's like, well, you went around attacking people without stopping for no reason, just because you have an opinion, and your opinion is different than God's opinion. This is what these people are being told. They were told many times to leave y'all alone and to stop. Page of Wands. And they were also told to pay attention to their freaking child. This Knight of Wands has got a kid. Okay? This kid will never amount to what you have become. I don't care if they read 1,000 spiritual books or take a chakra class or do whatever. This person's child is not anything now, and they won't be anything in the future unless they come to Christ, unless they allow God into their heart. 7 of Cups. But they're over here drinking from the illusions that their father has, which could be alcoholism. And we're not judging anybody that faces that. I've had to overcome alcoholism. I've had alcoholism in my family hardcore, my biological family anyways. But those addictions and stuff like that have to be overcome. That's how we spiritually grow. These people don't want to overcome addiction. They just want to live in addiction. It's like a huge difference. I also get that somebody is trying to do some type of spell so that you lose your hair, you lose your eyesight or something. It's stupid. It's going to be returned right back to them. You cut these people off because you knew that they were talking bad things about you behind your back. 6 of Cups. Literally. These people have too many children to take care of, to be worrying about what you have going on in your life. I can guarantee that your life is 100 times better than this person. And if they think that they have some type of special anointing, for what? For them to sit around and drink all day? They're anointed to do that? No, I don't think so. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. People want to copy what it looks like to be anointed and then pretend like they are. It's a role-playing thing, not an actual real-life thing. Okay, what else do we need to know? The 3 of Swords. Yeah, this is just somebody that you probably broke up because they were cheating. You broke up with them. You left them behind because they're a cheater. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Okay? I don't know where that came from. If that's like a fairy rhyme or something. fairy tale, whatever it is. Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. This is what this person does. They're a cheater. Okay. They don't have not one bone or ounce of loyalty within them. It is not within this person to be loyal, not to God, not to a woman, and not to a man, and not to nobody else. Incompatible lovers. This person needs to back up out of your energy because you're not ever going to be with them. It's incompatible. And these people don't want to accept the blames for the part that they caused in the entire situation. And if the police have to give you a restraining order against this person, so be it. The police will be on your side either way, because this person has outwardly expressed that they want to be violent and aggressive and destructive towards you. And just because right now there isn't a law that says you can't do black magic on people does not mean that in the future there will not be a law that says that you go to prison if you do black magic, or you go try to pay someone to do black magic on another person. I mean, obviously God has a way of making things fair. So 10 of Cups, exactly. Doesn't matter what these people do. You're always going to come out winning with a happily ever after. The difference between you and this other person, this Knight of Wands, is that you have peace within you. This person doesn't know what peace is. It's an abstract construct that they'll probably never really fully experience in this lifetime. Unless they repent and start, and apologize and do better. The peace, we know, the people that have peace, we know that it takes certain actions, certain leaving behind old beliefs. For example, it takes going within, accessing our higher self. It takes sitting with ourselves, sitting with our emotions. If we have pain, sitting with that pain. Holding space for ourselves. These are all things that help us maintain peace and order in our lives, right? So when you're dealing with people who are peaceless people, they're just functioning from some like low vibrational, robotic, inorganic. I'm hearing inorganic. And when I think of organic, I think of like, this is what I see when I think of organic. If you've ever had potting soil that has these little like white, it's like got like little metallic flakes in it. It's got little like white balls in it. And those things add to the soil like the extra nutrients that the plant needs to thrive. So I get that you're not doing anything that's outside of the human consciousness norms. So I don't know why this person is trying to make you out to be some type of villain when you're really not. It's clear as day that you're not the villain. You're not the one that's like abusing people. It's just clear as day, right? So weird for people to be like that. 9 of Wands. And part of me wants to understand what the heck is wrong with these people. But then the other part of me is like, ew, I don't even want to connect with that energy. And I don't want to know because it's probably something negative or demonic that's driving these people to behave like this. The 9 of Wands. They're going to remain in a wounded state because they don't actively take any actions towards healing anything. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. I really appreciate when you guys like the video. It helps this platform so much, and I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for your support. So these people are surrounded by trouble on all sides. First of all, I feel like for some of you, the police could be protecting you from something that you don't even know about. And just like the devil can put people in certain positions, so can God. God can also do that. So I look at it as like there are people under assignment from Satan or whatever. Sorry if I say that word wrong. But they're under assignment from a low vibrational energy. And that's what their agenda is to fulfill an assignment that's low vibrational. And then here, and so that those people are destiny blockers. That when you'll know a destiny blocker when you get with them and all it is arguing. When you're in a relationship with them or you're friends with them and all it is trash talking others. Just low vibrational behavior like gossip, which we should really stay out of, if I'm being quite honest. And I know that it's hard sometimes not to gossip when we get juicy news given to us through social media or whatever. But really, unless we know the situation 100% ourselves, if we know the situation, we shouldn't be talking about it. Unless it's something like an awareness thing, okay, to provide safety for others. But other than that, I feel like the more that we focus on ourselves and stop focusing on others, the easier things will become. And you're not cursed. This person wants you to think that you're cursed because they want you to accept and let in the curses that they send. But you are not cursed, okay? Do not believe that. If you were cursed, the police would not be sticking up for you. That would be like one of the many signs. And there are people who are destiny helpers who will, like me, like other people that are light workers, who will be put in your path to motivate you to be in alignment, to love yourself, and to do the best thing that you can do here and now. Okay, so you'll know, and all you have to do is go, God, did this person come from you or not from you? And if you find out that it did not come from God, then you don't want nothing to do with it. I can guarantee that. High Priestess. Because you've got the ability to see and discern, you know what I mean? What other people's intentions are. This is how you read the room, you read other people's intentions. And this is something that other people need to stop underestimating you about. Welcome in, Fashionista. Happy Friday to you as well. So yeah, I feel like you guys are underestimated. That's probably the biggest mistake that the enemy makes, by underestimating God's people. You also have not denied the inheritance of Jesus. That's another thing that's coming forward, that these people are wanting to target you, but you have not denied Christ like they have. These people hate God. They hate Jesus. They hate all of it. 8 of Cups, because they feel like they're not loved. They want total domination and control of other people, and that would be bad for the world for them to have that. So that's why it's not in alignment with the bigger picture. They're disappointed, dissatisfied. Somebody could be having to leave a job, or they could be getting fired from jobs. Look, if this person was living off of your stability, then they got to go. They got to find their own stability in life, okay? They could also be leaving a current relationship or being broken up with. And if this is somebody you broke up with years ago, they want to snake their way back. This is not the year of the snake. This is the year of the fire horse. The horses of fire will trample the snakes and serpents down, okay? To the ground. I just envision like somebody coming to slither in their little snake ass into your life, and then here comes a stampede of horses that are literally on fire, just trampling those serpents down. Like, that's what I see in my mind, my mind's eye. And you always see the snake before it approaches. Like, you're the type of person that metaphorically cuts the grass low enough so you can see a snake slither. And for those of you that are in highly populated snake areas, okay, this is like on a real level, like not a metaphor. Snakes, serpents, like rattlesnakes, any type of snake, they do not like the smell of rubber. So if you were to say, like, get a rubber band, get many rubber bands, those thick ones, and if you're going to be walking in a highly populated snake area, put those rubber bands around your wrists and your ankles, because the snakes are repelled by the scent of rubber, especially when you're out in the sun and the heat of the sun hits the rubber and it puts off that weird like tire smell. They don't like that smell. So they will stay, like, they'll definitely flee from it. So that's just to let you guys know. I learned that by watching, I watched this Ugandan model, most beautiful person, and she shares her Ugandan life and the purpose of everything that they do, like has like a physical purpose and then like a spiritual purpose as well. And so I love learning about other countries. I love learning. I love seeing how other people live their lives and just getting to experience that. It's one good thing about the internet, that we can see other places on the planet. It's also about what we're dialing into. Like, we have the ability within ourselves to turn ourselves on like a radio and fine tune to God's frequency. When we do that, we rise above every challenge that comes our way. And not only that, it's like we have the power to rise above any restrictions, any challenges, and any form of defeat that may be coming into our awareness. Okay, like when we tune into God, it is such a higher vibration and most beautiful, powerful energy that it raises us out of the human condition. And that's when we access our higher self and we experience the oneness that God has created for all of everything. The moon. And I don't want you guys to live in fear. I want you to be empowered. I want you to walk with confidence. And I want you to know that there is nothing under God's creation, in the creation of the divine, like the moon, like the stars, like the celestial bodies, that another person's going to be able to use against you. When you have a connection to God and you turn on that radio frequency and to channel God, to literally, like if there was a channel that was God, okay, it doesn't matter what anybody tries to use against you. All of their darkness comes to nothing. And these people, they're messing around with roots and herbs and trying to root something in. It's not working. These people are super paranoid. They're afraid that their bad luck that they're experiencing is because you have returned witchcraft to them. You haven't even done that. Why I don't do return to senders is because somebody may be an amateur at witchcraft trying to send me some negative energy, or they may be trying to send the evil eye or whatever nonsense. And I just know that I am protected. I know the gifts, I know the tools from and the techniques from the truth of God that I can, which is tagged in the products, but I can use those techniques at anywhere, anytime. So if I feel a witchcraft attack coming on, I can use those techniques. That's one thing that God is reliable, where, parts of, my country and in certain aspects have failed me when it comes to, supporting me, basically. They have failed. Okay. I am going to give it all to God. Every disappointment, every failure, every lack, mindset thing, I am giving to God to fix. And then I'm taking actions every day to change the way that I think and believe about things so I can have a new experience. But yeah, it's ironic that these people are going to be needing mercy, but I cast the demons out of them, out and back to hell. It's also about the energies that you allow into your life. See, these people are out in the moonlight, going to the crossroads. The Eight of Wands is the crossroads card. Going to the crossroads, trying to offer you up as a sacrifice to an entity. How evil is that? And these entities know they can't even touch you. Like, that's the funny thing. They'll accept the offering, but then they'll follow these people back home and stalk them. And so these people are like, why is this collective not suffering? First of all, these people don't have the authority, nor do they have the power in the spirit to judge another. In fact, they might want to be mindful of judging you, because if they were to pass away and you were to come across their soul, you would probably cast them into the pits of hell where they should be going anyways. Because I'm sorry, sir, ma'am, it, they, them, they're not going to be taking demons into heaven. Anybody that's under demonic oppression doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that there is a doorway that they have opened within themselves to allow that energy to take control of them. And yes, there are some of us that are made differently. I call these people the chosen ones that cannot be, the demons bow at their feet. They're just certain people. Okay, that cannot be, you can try to demonically torment somebody as much as you want by sending spell after spell and demon after demon. But if God has put an anointing on that person, those demons are not going to do anything but bounce off them and go right back to the person that sent them. Like literally, I have literally seen this with my physical eyes. Like I've seen demons trying to get into my neighbors' homes. And this was before I started praying for my neighbors. Like, then I was like, oh, I need to start including these these people around me, even if I don't know them, just so that everybody is safe. Because it was weird, very weird to me how these demons would go from house to house, and I would literally see them with my physical eyes, with my eyes open, not in my inner vision, not in a dream. And I see these spirits getting entry to some people's homes because they've opened a door to them, and then not getting entry to other people's home. And I live in a predominantly like Christian-based, Mormon and Christian and other denomination of Christian-based society or community. Let's just say that. Like there are a lot of those types of Christian background. Like there's a few of the Catholic ones, but it's mostly like Mormons, Protestants, Jehovah's Witness, that type of Christian. And one thing that I love about Christians so much is that, well, first of all, Jesus was peaceful. Jesus was a person of peace, a person of power, somebody who followed the will of God. Okay. And so to me, that means a lot, because the people that follow after Jesus, not all of them, because not everybody is perfect and some people are just fake, but the ones that truly do it with a contrite heart, with a good spirit, with the right intention, they do make it into the kingdom of heaven. Okay. They are few and far in between. And then people who are spiritual people who let God in to their heart, open the door to God rather than the devil, they also make it into the kingdom of heaven while they're alive on this planet Earth. They have beautiful experiences. And every once in a while, they'll probably have an experience where they go, wow, that just reminded me that the other polarity exists. Yes. Yes, I am so proud of you guys. And I feel honored to be able to communicate with you, because I know that you guys are understanding what I'm saying. This is why, Jesus says, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Oh, thank you for the goat trophy. I love that. Because they don't know what they're doing. They think that they do. Page of Swords. And, you being watched is like, this is the thing. These people are watching you like a hawk. The Page of Swords, anytime you see this card, it represents somebody watching and stalking. These people want to see how it is that you're breaking their witchcraft and getting free from their demonic oppression. And I feel like these people just should have never been messing around in that stupidness from the beginning. Because anything that they try to bring towards you, if you're finding weird objects in your yard, take them to someplace you can dispose of them. Like I would say, throw them in someone else's, the trash cans that get emptied by the city. Okay. If you were to like find a weird object in your yard. Now I have had these witches that were destiny swapping me. I have had them bring little objects and then come and like take a scalpel and scalpel part of the grass in my yard and then lift it up and then slide that object inside. And then I literally, this is what happens, you guys. Right around where that object sits, the grass dies. And so I end up eventually cutting the grass out and finding the objects. And so when I do, I get rid of them immediately. I get them off my property. And I make sure that they are as far away from me as possible. Because again, a cursed item, if it's cursed to target you, if somebody else touches it, they're not going to be cursed. So that's why it's like, if it goes in somebody else's garbage can, it's not going to hurt them. Now, some items can just be generally cursed, but again, you'll be able to pick up on the energy. If you have parts of your grass that are just dying, or if they're lifted up and raised above, like I would literally see spiritual things coming out of these objects, right? Because these people were trying to curse me. Why? Because they had already stolen a business from me. And this is what I think. For them to keep the magic going of being able to keep that business that they had stolen with witchcraft, they had to continue the witchcraft. And they probably wanted to curse my property. But yeah, they underestimated my power as well to be able to find the objects, get rid of them. And finding objects in your yard is one sign that somebody is trying to put spells on you. You know, make sure you're not, if you're, I would suggest to the best of your ability not to be promiscuous, because you don't know when you're having random sexual encounters with people. You don't know, like if you were to leave your underwear somewhere, you don't know what the people are going to do with your belongings. Like, especially if you don't know them intimately. But I don't judge people that sleep around. I just am saying that if you were to start sleeping with somebody and then all of a sudden everything goes downhill, or you sign a contract, a business contract, or like, you just need to pay attention to the signs. If something starts to go downhill, instead of allowing it to continue to go downhill, go, what did I just do that could have caused this? Who was I just around? Like, you just need to ask yourself the questions and know that, first of all, if you ask a question before you go to bed, most likely you're going to have a dream about it. In my dream last night, I was like in my back. If you have dreams that you're being brought back to an old house you used to live in, an old property, or a childhood home, that's the spirit of being brought back to an old version of yourself. I would cancel and rebuke those dreams. And I just learned about that recently, to cancel and rebuke those dreams. But yeah, in my dream, okay, I was in my backyard in Cali, where I grew up, and there was a swimming pool in the backyard. And I was basically looking for Archangel Michael. And I was an angel. I had a flaming sword and I could fly. And my wings were like the wings of an eagle rather than like a bat, where these other beings had like bat wings. Anyways, and I had like talon, like claws, like on my wings. And I was just like looking for Archangel Michael. And I kept going through all of these people. They were like having a party or something in my yard. And I was like, if Archangel Michael is not found, I am going to unalive all of you. That's what I said in the dream. And I was like, oh my God, that's so not like me. I would never say that like in real life. But in the dream state, I wasn't me. I was being another version of me that was an angel. And I was like, cough him up. Y'all demons need to cough his ass up right now. Because if he's not found, all of you will be passing away today. And so maybe I was the angel of death. But yeah, in that dream, I felt like somebody was trying to hide and steal my protection, because Archangel Michael is a protector to me. And so I always look at the dream for what it is, for how I feel right when I wake up, and then I apply logical meaning to it or rational thought to it. I kind of contemplate on it and I go, well, yeah, like in the dream, I didn't end up unaliving somebody because I woke up right after I said that, because that's so unlike me to say something like that, because I literally would not ever hurt anybody. But I was like, give my protection back, like now. I was like, give it back now. So this protection that extends into the physical world could be people who are police officers who are also earth angels. And being an earth angel means that you're an angel. A lot of you guys could be like me, looking androgynous, looking between a male and a female. Sometimes people can't tell the difference, or sometimes people just try to call me transgender or whatever. But yeah, the earth angels carry the traits of the angels basically, but they're just living on the earth. That's what an earth angel is. And so you could be doing work that actually helps free the earth up in the ley lines and vibrationally. So never take for granted, like, you're in the right place at the right time to hear this message and to understand what I'm talking about. If you've been seeing people in your dreams from your past, Ask yourself, okay, is this a message that I'm holding on to something like an emotion, a belief, whatever, attached to this person or situation, especially if it's somebody you don't want to see, right? Like nobody wants to go have a dream and then see their ex. And because I was so tormented and made afraid of my ex, that's like one. I know that demons just use his face to try to torment me, but when you can become more lucid, start asking yourself when you're in the dream, like, what does this mean? What is this message trying to tell me? And then if you do find that somebody is playing in your energy, ask God to give you a confirmation. I know dreams are a confirmation, but you can always ask for more confirmations. They will come. When you're seeing one of your cousins and relatives used to call you a boy and you thought that it was the cutest thing. That's so funny. Yeah, I used to be really tomboyish when I was little. I didn't want to play with toys. I guess that's not really tomboyish, but I did not want to play with toys. You had to see it from their perspective too. Exactly. I love that. I love that. You seeing it from their perspective as well. That's a beautiful thing. That's a very powerful thing because we get so bound and wound up in our own perspective that when we can see it from the way that another person sees it, we can understand something more about what we're looking at. I'm also seeing a concert hall. Maybe some of you guys are going to a concert. This is like an indoor concert hall. Maybe you're going to have a dream that you're at a concert hall. I also get that, there's a lot of elemental energy, which is earth, air, fire. Oh, thank you. I love that. I love that. Bald eagle with the American popsicle in its mouth. That is so cute. I love that. You still get carded and you're almost 30. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sending the eagle. That made me feel so good. The temperance. This is Archangel Michael showing up, literally, to moderate things. And this is why I feel like when things get so out of hand that Archangel Michael has to show up, you know that God is listening and responding to what's going on. And these angels are dispatched. Like your guardian angel has so much love for you. And they're big. These are not little angels, right? Like guardian angels, sometimes we think of them like they would be the same size as us. This one time I was driving in the middle of an insane blizzard and I was going too fast. I was on the freeway and my car spun. It spun out. It did spun 3 times in a circle, and then it ended up facing the way that I was supposed to be going. But there was so much like snow and blizzard stuff that all of the other cars were going like literally like 20 miles an hour on the freeway. And I felt this huge hand, probably from here to here, how big the hand was holding me. And then I felt it let go. And I was like, what was that? And I found out that it was my guardian angel. There was something with me that night. There definitely was, because I had gotten pulled over previously because I was lost in the blizzard and had to pull over. And the police were like, do you need help? And I was like, I do. I can't find the freeway and I don't know how to get out of here. And so they guided me towards the freeway. When I got on the freeway, I was trying to get home. I wanted to I thought, oh, I can beat the blizzard. You can't beat no damn blizzard. Like the blizzard was already there. It had already manifested. So there was no beating the blizzard home. I thought I could just outrun this storm, like it's not like a tornado. So anyways, I got on the freeway and I was going too fast. I was probably going 30. Everybody else was going 15 or 20. And all the cars were so spaced far in between because you really couldn't see, like not hardly at all. And I am just so thankful that I'm alive from that experience. I really feel like divine intervention happened then. And that was an experience where I got home and I was like, just got on my knees and praised God and thanked the universe. And the demonic person that I was married to at the time was like, why are you doing that? Stop praying to God, pray to Thor. Like he would always say that. I'm like, you go pray to Thor, bitch. I mean, I am a lover of Thor, to be quite honest. But if something troublesome happens, I'm praying to God. Like Sorry. So look, this temperance energy also shows me that you're using moderation with your ability. You're not, there are some people that are very gifted and they see a lot and then, or they hear a lot, however their gifts and abilities work, and they reveal a lot. I feel like anything that you reveal about yourself, just make sure that it's something that's already happened, because these people are looking and listening for something specific, but they're not using they're using social media, but they're also like, they're lazy people. So they want to use divination, but it's not tarot card. Tarot cards are very new. When it comes to like forms of divination, tarot is extremely new. These are the type of people that have gone to something else, like, you know, in the very ancient past, they used to read like the entrails of an animal. I'm not for sure how they did that. They would read bones. Like they would maybe look through a crystal. There's so many other ways to get information. But this is more, it's giving that these people are trying to, like, how in the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch has a globe, like, or it's a crystal sphere or something, but she can literally find any person at any time. It's kind of the same, almost the same as how when Beauty and the Beast, she's given a mirror by the Beast that allows her to see anyone at any time, kind of that premise. That's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to view you through like a crystal ball, and all they're seeing is like these dark spirits. That's what I'm getting. So these people are thinking that you're up under attack, and it's them. They're the ones that are seeing the dark spirits. Ridiculous. And I also thought, like, there's some type of story from the Bible, I don't remember which one it is, where they had put lamb's blood on the door, and then the angel of death, when it comes, it passes over the houses with lamb's blood on it. When I was seeing the demons trying to it looked like that. Like, it looked like that in the way that there were some houses that they would just pass over. They wouldn't even try to get inside. But I could tell that somebody, through those weird objects in the yard, I could tell that I know who the person is that was doing it, but I could tell that they had gotten a bunch of other people together to send those energies and entities. So if you find out who the person is, pray that God comes into their heart so that they change, because we can't control people. And the more that we get used to not controlling people, the better it is. Like, because people will try to control you with the moon, with the whatever, stars, planets. I'm the type of person that I believe that astrology exists in a way, but at the same time, God is more powerful than all of that. So, like, is there anything in astrology that we need to fear? Probably not. I mean, I know that Mercury retrograde sucks most of the times, right? It causes throat chakra issues, but at the same time, everything that's negative is actually positive, because every time Mercury retrograde, any retrograde hits, it's going to be bringing the shadow aspects of you that need to be healed to the forefront. So how is that negative? We just have to be able to look at things from the right perspective and know that anything that's in God's creation is not going to be, like, no weapon formed against us will ever prosper. And the whole idea of creating weapons is fallen angel stuff anyways. Ideally, I would like you guys to all be protected in the way that you do have bear spray, at least. That's, non-lethal forms of protection. But know also that even though you guys may not be like socialites in the sense where you're like royalties in the social clubs, you're still important to, the community. Okay. And so just knowing that, you can rest assured that these police have got you covered if anybody ever comes to try to play with you in the physical. 6 of Pentacles. And as long as you continue to just do I don't want to say the bare minimum, but The bare minimum of life is like paying your bills and doing the best that you can, scraping together what you can scrape together, taking a blessing that you have that's a non-tangible one and putting it to use. I feel like you guys are gaining control over your financial life. You're going to make it through all of these challenges. There is no spirit, entity, deity, person, place, or thing that can keep you from experiencing financial freedom, prosperity, success, and abundance. Okay? Because when you have access to God, you have access to limitless energy. It is literally, it's so hard to describe because words can never describe God, but it is like beyond, it's eternal and endless, right? Of positive energy. So there's really no need to go outside of the self for anything. This is probably what the ancient sages knew. So also, when you give to others, you receive. You guys understand that to be able to receive, you have to give to others. And you don't, some people, when they pay a bill, they do it with a bad attitude. I used to be one of those people. I would look at the bills and be like, how am I going to do this? You know what I mean? But now, anytime that money goes out, I do not even think, like if a bill has to be paid or whatever, I don't think bad thoughts. I think, oh, I'm so thankful I have power in my house that I can turn lights on, that I don't have to be using candles. I'm so thankful that I have heat in my home, that it's snowing outside, I can be warm, or it's hot outside, I can be cool. I'm so thankful that, and like, I don't have flashy stuff, but the stuff that I do have, I am so thankful for it. And you guys are living a life of gratitude, and I can see that. And when you understand how this financial success comes in, that it's based upon your energy and what you're putting out, then you can understand why it comes in when it comes in. And sometimes we will be asking for things that we're not quite ready for, but the more that we get into alignment, the more ready we become to receive the things that we ask for. And there's no one on this planet that has power in your reality over you, except for God. But that you are God, your higher self is God. So that's still a part of you. So it's still you. So really, you are the only thing that has control in your reality. And don't be giving up the torch. Don't be giving up, what is it, when they pass the flame on? Don't be giving up your power and your authority to a thought or belief that somebody else has more control over you than you do, or more control over your finances or any aspect of your life, because you're the one that can make the changes. And you're the one that can shift your vibration, and you're the one that can turn on the radio and tune to God's channel, right? I don't care what assistance these people have. I don't care what they think or believe. You've already overcome some type of financial struggle. And sometimes when it comes to money and you're feeling like, oh, you have to work so hard to get it, or you're believing that it's so hard to get, whatever the beliefs are about money, when you just stop caring about it, like, and this is one thing that has helped me, I just stopped caring. Like I didn't put any emotion out towards not having it, whatever. And then all of a sudden it just started to become more stable. I also brought peace into my finances so that there is peace. There's a positive exchange happening both ways. And I think that once you do that, it really, for me, it has helped significantly with worries and stress and dealing with people's witchcraft. Because again, witchcraft cannot exist in the same space as peace. And good is more powerful than not good, right? We already know that. Love conquers all things. And it's the main motivating emotion behind all of life. From the moment we're born, it's that mother's love to the moment that we pass away, the love of another loved one that's there to help us pass, or to, hold our hand while we do. That type of energy. You guys have got really good energy. The 5 of Cups. These people are disappointed from what they're seeing. They're seeing that these cups that they tried to fill all the way up off of your energy have just all fallen over. This person does not want to face the truth that their reign of terror in your life is done. They don't want to face the truth of that. I also get that there could be two people here, like the Knight of Wands and then a female energy that teamed up together, like in another life or in another dimension. These two people were one person, or they were experiencing a hive consciousness or something like that, like they're connected in some type of way, and they tried this dumbness in that reality, and it worked for a little bit until it didn't work anymore, and now they just tried to do the same thing in this reality. And maybe for a while they thought that it was working, but it's not actually. That was just a delusion. So this person is like, oh, wait, that person was an earth angel. Did I just lose a valued possession? Yes, they did. They're seeing that they lost a valued possession, because if you would have accepted this person into your life, yes, they would have destroyed it because that's their demonic agenda. But also you would have uplifted them and they would have been able to benefit off of your blessings and your protection, okay, and your divine care. So these people are seeing how their careless, reckless, irresponsible, demonically depraved behavior has influenced them to literally block out their own blessings. Because you were a blessing to these people. They thought that you had the blessing, so they thought they were going to just destroy you and take a blessing, but they didn't realize that you actually are the blessing, and now they're figuring that out. The Hierophant. And there could be somebody who's, attached to a cult, a secret society, a coven. These people operate in the darkness, behind the scenes, and they've all been told to lay their arms down, like their weapons down, and walk away. That you're going to remain a free person. That would be dope. I would love to fly. Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid of heights. But if I could control it, then there would be nothing to fear. With wings, flying with wings is completely different. Something could happen to a wing and you could fall, right? But how Superman flies, that would be dope. Also, I'm getting to not believe the hype of everything, okay? Some people will believe just what I say. The hype is like what other people say, other people's opinions. When somebody does a movie review, there's some movies like what was it? The last Hellboy movie, the last one that they ever made. I loved that movie. I thought that movie was so good. Critics destroyed it online, talked so bad about it, like it was the worst thing. First of all, any critic that says Joker 2 was a good movie is delusional. First of all, the first Joker movie that came out with Joaquin Phoenix, I loved that one. That one was so good, but to me, the character that Joaquin Phoenix played reminded me of myself so much because of my mental health struggles that I've been through and all of the things I've had to overcome. Reminded me of my own self, and it literally brought me to tears to see that portrayed on the screen. And then I had all my hopes up for Joker 2 to be good. And then, of course, having Lady Gaga, I was like so excited. And then I saw it and I was like, the first movie made me feel bad about myself, just bad. The second movie made me feel worse. I was like, did they create these movies as some type of social or psychological experiment to see what it would do to the world, to like traumatize us? That's what I was literally thinking. So yeah. And they hyped up Joker 2 and everything like that. And from all of the scenes that you could see, it just looked like it was going to be good. And then when it came out, we were like, what? What? So yeah, I do feel like Hollywood is dominated by social experiments and weird stuff. But, I used to live in Santa Monica for a little while, and it had a demonic presence that was always there, like some higher dimensional thing. And it was really creepy. And every time I want to go back into LA, like I kind of get told no by spirit. So eventually I'll clear it all, or something else will happen to cleanse it out. I feel like also that at this time in your life, you guys are benefiting off of divine wisdom that's stored within you with this Torah that the high priestess has right there, that scroll. You've got access to knowledge that people would consider to be occult, but it's just divine knowledge. Okay. What people don't know, they don't understand. Eight of Swords. And you're not going to teach this stuff. Look, these people are imprisoned, like spiritually. They're stuck in a frequency that they can't break out of, which is really sad. I also get that, yeah, you know, you have literally, these people are trying to turn the police against you for whatever reason, and it's not going to happen. Four of Wands. Your completed projects are the proof of the pudding that your deeds and works are good. I don't know what anybody can say about that. Why are people so judgmental of others that they don't understand? From my perspective, if it, in any religion and any spirituality and any culture, race, community, there's going to be people who are good, great, awesome, and people who are not. And then there's going to be people who are neutral and in between. So like I think of every zodiac sign, of every type of person, there's good, because we just have diversity. You know, we have those two spectrums, and then we have what's around the middle being neutral. And we're going to run throughout our life. See, the why I say that you don't know how God is using you until you figure it out. These people could have been brought into your life because you're going to awaken them. You're going to help them come to realize that God is real, God is good, and also that, you know, they shouldn't be judging other people. Like that's part of the side effect of being around you guys. Let's say that. That's part of the effect, is that these people instantly are getting bad karma, and they're facing some five of Pentacles situation. Maybe these people feel like they need to rush you out of your place of living, or that they need to make sure that you don't have a solid, like whatever this is a broken plan. And this Hierophant group is literally not wanting to face consequences for being involved with these people. Okay, what else do we need to know before we go? I get that when something becomes very, very obviously aware that it's not in alignment, just walk away to the best of your ability. You know, it's okay to go through stuff. Like for you to learn what red flags are, you have to go through some of them. And all of us do. This is the learning process. We're in Earth School, the Hermit. And that means isolating from people that you know are either toxic, not good for you, even if this has to be a family member. I mean, you have to do what you have to do to protect your sanity, your free will, your life, and your purpose. And now that I was thinking, I ended up watching there's a horror movie called Obsession that is so freaking good. It is so terrifying. I actually was scared in it. There's like at least a couple good jump scares that I wasn't suspecting. But the whole thought of somebody making a wish and it instantly coming true, and just like that thought to me is actually terrifying, because what these people are wishing for, like if they had a wish a willow, they would be wishing, and these are people that literally would be wishing something so stupid to happen, right? And wasting their wish, like literally. It's just crazy. What I also get about wishes is that once a wish is made, it's actually manifested as an outcome. You can't unwish it once you've already wished it into creation. So people just like really, when they're asking the universe for stuff and wishing for things, they should wish for things like I always say, if it's in my highest and best good to have this, then I would like it. Okay. But if it's not my highest and best good, then I don't want it. And I don't pretend to know the answers to everything, to know what is and what's not. I'm going to allow my higher self and God to figure that out, right? Because I have an idea, but sometimes I may want something that's not good for me, right? And so we just have to be aware of what we're asking for. I get that you guys are very loyal people. The community sees you as such. And the community also sees that you're very down to earth, you're very loyal. You're not showy, like you're not here to show off or create a show, put on a show. You're just here to kind of do the job that God gave you and to live your life. And you also help other people in need. So this is what can be seen about you. If we were to take all of the evidence of you as a person in your life, this is what the divine, this is what even the human world can easily see, right? And so sometimes by you being a really good person, being sensitive and sympathetic to social structures and issues and political issues, it does make you a target in the sense that people know that they can rely on you in tough times. But that's a responsibility that they should be relying on God, even though they know that you will come through for them. You are not their God. So they should be relying on God to come through. And if there's something that's not for our highest and best good, and sometimes it just won't manifest. Like I had this one client that wanted a BBL really bad and was like, and I use this all the time as the example, but she wanted the money to come in for the BBL. And the reason that it didn't was because she was going to go to a foreign country where she didn't speak the language. The doctor was shady. The whole thing would have turned out really, really bad and could have unalived her. And so that is why God, sometimes rejection is protection. Sometimes when things don't come through for us, we need to ask, was there something about that situation that I didn't see? And just be humble enough to know that, yeah, we're not going to see everything. Like, the more that we tap into our spidey senses, our God power, our higher self, the divine, Jesus, God, all of that, the more that we tap into the Holy Spirit within us, the stronger all of our abilities and the more clear we are. But as far as thinking we can see everything, I just don't believe that. There may be somebody out there that can see more than me, but I don't think any one person sees every single thing. So, when you're asking for something, first of all, believe it can come to you. And then ask with the intention of, if this is good for me, if it's not going to be good for me, then I don't want it. The Ace of Pentacles. But it looks like God is going to show up and come through for you. I'm seeing rain. So literally, there could be a situation where maybe you get a lot of rain for a couple of days. I don't get that that's going to happen now, but I'm seeing rain as a form of currency that comes from the divine, right? Okay. These people are it's like they're being caught with their pants down in some type of way. Maybe they're going to be taken to court. It's not by you, though. It's by God. It's like, don't call judgment on somebody's life and try to take everything from them when you have no authority in the spirit. That's what these people are learning. The devil. The devil does not give them authority to take the life of another person. Them selling their allegiance to the devil does not give them the authority to take the soul of another person. And the devil is what's making these people broke. And homie, don't play that. Just like all the things that were put into the yard. And for years, I had issues in certain spots of the yard until I realized that there was stuff buried there. And then I cleansed it out. And I literally spent all year making a black salt mixture of my own. to put it down on all of my property. Every part, I just took a spoon. I had a big bucket of it and I was throwing it out everywhere. And that was a good thing because it put down protection. The person, look, the day that I did that, it was not 15 minutes later after me doing that to the yard that person had contacted somebody else that I knew about whatever problem that they had, like immediately. And I knew that was the person. And I was like, yo, 15 minutes later, they're contacting the person I'm sitting next to. I've had very weird, creepy experiences with this one witch. You guys could have had possibly creepy experiences with this one witch as well, where it's like every time I do something to get her out of my energy, boom, she tries to contact or does something else that's stupid, ridiculous. And then and the universe makes it completely aware to me who I'm actually dealing with and who's doing it. And so when you figure out the exact person, it makes it very easy to fix. I also get that a lot of the gang stalking is caused by witchcraft. So what ends up happening is like a witch will align with a demon. And then what they start to do is they start to curse other people. They curse the people that they're friends with. They curse the people that they talk to. And they curse them in such a way to make these people obsessed with you. And then their obsession takes them into doing black magic. And it's all, person and a demonic entity that they're working through. So this person's not a victim. They opened the door to the devil and sought the devil out to work against you. Okay? And they think that you're stupid and you don't know about it. That's why check your yard. When in doubt, check the yard. Because, yeah, having so much oppression and so much difficulty and so much dealing with so much evil eye, all of that can really wear a person down. And these people knew that if they kept working on me, the thing that they didn't know is that I have a strength that's beyond what a human can hold because I'm an earth angel. This is what these people did not realize about you, that you're undefeatable. And there's some people that they just can't touch. Now that they're becoming aware that you're an untouchable, that you're a chosen untouchable, now they're feeling the heat of the fire because there's actually ramifications and real like karma and stuff that they can get for trying to take somebody off their journey. King of Wands. The Queen of Wands to the King of Wands. Yeah. Okay, what else do we need to know? They're not getting their hands on your lucky charms, your money, nothing. They can't have your good fortune. They can't have your destiny. They can't touch not one hair on your head. Even if they get a strand of your hair, there's nothing they can do with it. These people need to surrender. And just like repent and do better. And stop cursing these obsession spells, wanting people to become obsessed with you, because that's going to get these people hurt. And not by you, but by your spirit team and ancestors. 5 of Wands. There's nothing to compete about. These people are no competition. What are they talking about? Competition. How can somebody who is working for the devil compete with one of God's people? Make that make sense. These people are so demonic. There's no way, like literally, you just can't compete with an earth angel if you're an earth demon, literally. And this Queen of Wands now all of a sudden doesn't want to be connected to these people that they got to turn on you because these people are turning on her. Wow. She's like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was her, though. Everybody knows it. The star. Everybody knows that it was her. I personally don't treat people like shit because I think that they're smarter than they put off to be. Most people. So I don't try to get things over on people. I just live my life that way. Because you have a heart. Yes, exactly. They cannot compete where they don't compare. That is 100% correct. So what is the outcome of this situation? You have a star trait and ability that they want access to. You could be a reader, or you could be somebody that can read energy. Maybe you don't do it professionally, but you can do it. These people want access to your abilities and your gifts and your talents. They want to use you so that they can have money. That's what I'm getting. Page of Pentacles. They've got a lot of children. They also want to give your gifts and abilities to their kids. No, you're not genetically connected to them. Okay, these are weird people. These children will not become abundant off of you. They need to live off of their own parents, not you. You're not the mama, not the daddy. You're not the parent of these people's kids. They are King of Pentacles. And I do get that these people, this whole group of people owes a King of Pentacles money. This King of Pentacles could have been working with the devil. They definitely owe somebody. But, you know, these people are going to be in the Nine of Swords about it. I don't know what to tell them. They need to get past it. Because you're here to be a star on the World Wide Web or in the world, making actual moves. And there will be a judge that sends in a notification that you are approved to move forward. Okay? That you are worthy of something. Because look, these people, they wanted you ultimately judged. They wanted somebody to judge you and strip you of everything. That's not what's happening. What's happening is that these people are now up under judgment, and God is making a miracle, because that is what God does. And I don't know why these people are so ignorant. They're so busy worshiping the devil that they have lost sight of their own future and their own children's future. And they've gotten so hyper focused upon you that they have forgotten that they don't call the shots in life. All right? No one person calls the shots. And they also can't control the opinion of the police, who look at you and see something other than whatever these people are saying. So I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you guys so much. Okay, so the two books that are, for those of you that are going to stay, I will be talking about the two books that are tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. For those of you that are leaving, I love you so much. Please like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed, leave a comment. All of that really helps this platform so that it can continue to thrive. Okay, so The Truth of God. I mentioned this book at the beginning of the reading. It is called The Truth of God. And thank you everybody that donated and sent in stickers. I really appreciate that. This is an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael STEADMAN, who's a doctor of divinity. So I just opened it randomly to the chapter that says Intuitive Feeling Method. How long is that? Okay, so I'm going to read this chapter, then I'm going to talk about the techniques from this book that I use every day. So if one does not already have an intuitive gift or method, it can be developed. This ability may work right off, or it may have to be practiced for a while until you familiarize yourself with the feelings. These impressions are tangible. You can literally feel them. They can start off very softly and might take a while to acknowledge them with each question. After a while, you recognize the feelings easier and faster. This is where understanding and utilizing the energy ball, the energy ball technique, which is another chapter, comes in handy for recognizing these subtle energies or impressions. This is a method that my students use to become familiar with the tangible feelings. This next exercise may be the most important and useful application in this book if you don't already have an intuitive gift developed. And then that application is the joy versus anger technique. So I'm going to talk about first the God technique. When anything comes up in my life that is too much, I go within myself and I use the God technique and I make the connection with God. And when I do, it's like a raising of my frequency and vibration so that I'm looking out through the eyes of God, and it changes my DNA. It raises my consciousness, and it helps me rise above whatever is going on, like whatever I feel is going on, right? My water bottle is sweating like a lot and it's getting on the table. So that's the God technique. Anytime something comes up that doesn't feel good, that is the technique that I go to first. Then the second technique, and that's if I need to ask a question. Sometimes the first technique will be enough. But the second technique that I'll go to from this book, that was like so freaking dripping everywhere. The second technique that I use from this book is the joy versus anger technique, which gives you the ability, like it was saying with the intuitive feeling method, to ask questions. And because it works on your gut response, your gut feeling, you get to ask yes and no questions and get an immediate response back so that you're not having to sit around and wait for a response or look for a sign, that type of thing. My life before I was able to ask yes and no questions, I had a lot of doubt and confusion because I see visions and I hear stuff and I have the psychic abilities. I have that realm established very well. But the other realm of interpreting it and understanding and all of that, when I was growing up, I was very much terrified of everything. But it was just the experiences I had and my own perspective, okay, that made me so afraid of everything that I experienced. So the next technique, because yes and no answers will get you so far. Like some situations when you ask, should I go here? Because your higher self, God knows what's best for you and what's not. So when you're asking, do I go here? Do I go there? Do I do this? Do I do that? And you get a no, and it's something you really want to do. Then the next technique from this book, The Truth of God, is called the 1 to 10 technique. You can get compatibility on any situation, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. This book will teach you how to get compatibility. And then the mind technique is so important. So if I see that the compatibility is low on something and I haven't figured out already why the compatibility is so low, then I'll either start to ask questions or I'll allow my gifts to fill it in, the blank, like if I can, or with the compatibility, I'll start to ask if there are things or beliefs in the way that need to be cleared. So the next technique is the mind technique. The mind technique gives you the ability to clear the thoughts and beliefs that are no longer serving you so that you don't keep recreating the same experiences. And then, so you want to use that anytime you have a thought or belief that you know is working against you. And you don't have to believe the sun's going to come up tomorrow for it to come up. In fact, experiment with that. See tomorrow if the sun still comes up. Because once you realize that for the positive to be there, you don't have to have a belief. If that is the ultimate freedom of your mind. And then if you have troublesome beliefs that happen quite frequently, one thing that you can do is from this book, it's called Preemptive Strike, where you write those down. Sometimes getting the thoughts out of your head onto a piece of paper really helps. Writing it down, and then you go through, you use the mind technique and manually clear those thoughts. When you clear those thoughts, then I would say to create an affirmation that affirms the opposite of what you do want. And then start working with that. That way, a new neural pathway in your mind is created, and it gives you the opportunity to have a new experience. So there are so many other techniques in this book that are really great to help ground you and all of that. And for meditation, this is called The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living, written by Michael STEADMAN, who's a doctor of divinity. And this book is wonderful. So check it out. It's tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. The next book I'm going to talk about is the book that I have written. And I wrote this book because I didn't have any person to teach me how to read cards. So I had Vassago, who is a spirit guide to me. This book is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. It is written by me, Astraea Love, and it's also tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. So this book has 23 tarot card spreads in it, based off of the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. And these tarot card spreads are designed with the assistance of God, the Holy Spirit, and Vassago, so that you can use them over and over again and still get new information. So in the tarot deck, There is 78 cards total. This is how Vassago explained that tarot works. While you're a human, you will experience all cards in the deck, every single one of them at one point or another. Okay, you can look at each card as an archetype energy and a transitional energy that you'll be in for a moment or for maybe a month, a week, however long. Or it'll be other people around you that you experience. So this is how it maps human consciousness. So there's 78 cards total. 22 of those cards are going to be your major arcana cards, like the Sun, the Temperance. I think we're going to do the Temperance today. The Tower, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, the Sun, the Moon, the World, the Star, the Devil, the Death, the Hangman, the Last Judgment, Justice, Chariot, Wheel of Fortune. So in this book, you're going to have, for each of the 22 cards, the 22 cards are like the major transitions. There's going to be a tarot card spread, and then there's going to be a spell. So you basically do the tarot card spread first, and then the spell is not like traditional spell work. It's like manifesting with prayer. And you're using the archetype energy of the Sun. And so you get the information first, or whatever card that you're working on. So there's no wrong way to use this book. You can either go from the first tarot card spread to the last, or like what we're going to go to today is the Temperance card. You can go straight to the Temperance tarot card spread and start working with it. So in the beginning of the book, I have put, like, well, we've got to look at the index to see what page the Temperance tarot card spread is on. So you guys can see how the book actually works. $1.99. But I have put in here a disclaimer. If you're going to be reading for other people, you just need to let people know that tarot can bring out the truth in an abrupt way. Tarot can, first of all, if somebody's asking a certain question, sometimes people will be asking you questions that they already know the answer to, or they don't want to know the answer to, but they're still asking because they need to ask. Also, letting them know that not only tarot can trigger them or make them not feel good about a situation, because it's going to reveal things that they don't see, that it can also, like, if let's say somebody is asking a question that's really not important to their lives, right? That they want to know about. I would always, if you're going to do an in-person reading, let the person shuffle your cards and then just cleanse your cards. This book teaches you how to do that. But I would let them shuffle, and then when they give you the deck back, then you start pulling the cards so that they know that it was their energy that, you know, is influencing it. So yeah. So you just want to let them know that they could not hear what they want to hear. They could hear things that they weren't ready for. They could see the truth in an abrupt way, or they could not get the answer that they want, right? And so letting them know that. I think that that's just smart to do the disclaimer. So you tell people, you know, like, to be in good space when they come to you asking for questions, and to not ask about questions that they don't want to know things about. Then I have put a prayer in here, and you can do this while they're present, before they show up, right, for a reading. But I would, anytime that you're going to do one of these readings or any other reading, I would do a prayer that's putting your best foot forward, right? And then I have put an initiation in here with Vassago, because Vassago has helped me throughout my tarot journey. If I am looking at something, if somebody's asking me about something, or if I'm getting a reading from somebody else, because I used to get readings from people and I used to watch readings, I would be looking, either they could be like not accurate, and Vassago would show me that, but also whatever was there that I'm so pigeonholed focused on finding, I could be missing what's actually in front of my face. So Vassago has helped me expand my awareness and consciousness in that way when I read, so that I can be, you know, seeing everything that needs to be seen at that time. All right, I'm going to go to page 199. So for each tarot card in the deck, there's going to be like 4 or 5 ways that you can read the card. First of all, if you know about numerology, you know that each card in the deck has a number association. It also has a answer, a yes, no, maybe, or cautious answer. So for each of these tarot card spreads in this book, whatever card you pull, and I would use the Quick and Easy Original Rider-Waite Tarot. I have it linked in the description box below and tagged in their products. But I would use this deck. Other people have been telling me they're using oracle cards and different cards with this book, and it's still working, which I think is a really good thing. But I would suggest that you do use the tarot. So it's going to have a yes, no, maybe, cautious, or answer, and then it's going to have one or more zodiac sign, and then of course it'll have its picture, which is a way to read it, and its interpretation with the description on the cards. So the Temperance Tarot card is a number 14. The answer is yes, and the zodiac is Sagittarius. The Temperance card is associated with the Archangel Michael and divine protection. It is a card of flexibility, change, and adaptation, one who works well with others and has good management skills. Achieving balance and control of your own emotions in life. Many ideas and experiences synthesized to form new ideas, cooperation to secure compromise. This card can mean a possible reconciliation may take place. So for this tarot card spread, you're going to shuffle the whole deck until you feel ready to pull a card. And I'm going to read position 1, which is the Self. So it says the card that you pull for this position can reveal insights into your awareness level of consciousness and divine personality traits. Reveals the ego's blind spots and shows you where any illusions such as false positives or false negatives reside. This card position can give clues to understanding the ego and how it is navigating on autopilot your life. The card that you pull for this position can reveal a shocking truth about the self that you are resistant to accept. If there are any negative influences affecting your temperament, such as engaging in toxic behaviors, may be shown to you through the card that you pull for this position. If you have personal protection from the Archangel Michael, who is the warrior angel who casts the devil into hell and leads heaven's armies, you will pull the Temperance Tarot card for this position. If you were to pull the Four of Swords for this position, you will know that you are going through a spiritual awakening or an ego death. All right, so let's shuffle them one more time, and we're going to cut the deck and then pull a card and see what we have here. The Ace of Swords. You are protected by God, my loves. This is literally the best card. This is so dope. You are protected by God. So basically, when it talks about how the Ace of Swords says an excellent time for work and intellectual projects. A breakthrough is possible. Your life's mission and career direction will become clear. Wow. The ability to persevere will be crucial during this period. Decisions should be guided by what is just, true, and honorable. Think of problems as opportunities to change. Divine protection from God. So protection of your crown, your destiny, all of it. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that for you guys. That is amazing. So that's how the book works. There's obviously more than one position, but I'm not going to do all the positions because that would give it away. The Temperance Tarot card spell is a manifestation technique with Michael the Archangel, which helps you to create holy water. And it also helps you, I call down the sacred waters of moderation and temperance to enter this distilled water and change its form to the waters of moderation. I ask that the Archangel Michael, help me to charge this sacred holy water with me. And then you combine salt as well. I ask that the divine Holy Spirit of God bless this sacred salt through me. I manifest for my divine purity. And I invoke, draw in, and evoke, draw out the sacred blue flame, the will of God of Archangel Michael. I call upon Saint Michael the Archangel to bless and protect me, my family, and my home. I give you permission to intercede on my behalf and the behalf of my loved ones. Please come to my space and help me to clear my energy. So when I say spell, that's the type of stuff we're talking about. So I think the word spell makes everyone afraid. So anyways, I'm going to go to the back of the book. If you were to be doing any of these readings and pull more than one of the major arcana cards out together, I would pause the reading and go into the back of the book and look up the first major arcana card that you see if that card combination is there. And then if it's not, then I would go to the second card, see if that card combination is there, because it'll give you a bit more information. Okay, so the Temperance card represents the divine intervention and Archangel Michael. Anytime that you see the Temperance card in a reading, you know that Archangel Michael is peeking his head out into your life. When things are out of balance, you will pull the Temperance card in the reverse. If you pull the Temperance in the upright, it could indicate that something is out of balance in the situation that you're in, but it's coming into balance, aka waters of moderation. If it's in the reverse, then it's just way out of balance, and there's divine intervention that needs to happen. If more temperance is needed, you will pull the Temperance before a major arcana card. So you apply the moderation and temperance, okay, using moderation to whatever the major arcana card is that you pull after it. No, before it, my bad. If you pull the Temperance card and then the Death card, it could indicate grave danger because something is super out of balance and it could be dangerous, right? So I would just say that it means danger. If you pull the Temperance and then pull the Lovers card, it could mean that you need to stop being intimate with someone and that you need to use your best discernment. And it just keeps going on and on and on with different card combinations, you guys. But check this book out. It is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. It is worth the amount of money. And literally, it's got a lot of sacred knowledge that's going to help you on your journey. Also, the Quick and Easy Original Rider-Waite Tarot. For those of you that want to learn, this is going to be your master. So like your master key. You know how your teacher has like the book that has all the answers in it? That's what the Original Rider-Waite is. So like if you were to go to any other deck, like this Twin Flame deck, and if they were to give you a wacky picture with whatever the actual card is, I would, when I answer questions for other people, I keep this deck out, because if I pull a card that I feel like doesn't represent the energy, then I definitely just want to keep this out and then go reference it. And I do reference it quite often. All right, you guys, check out what's tagged in the products, linked in the description box below. Thank you, everybody, for your support, your love, your donations, your kindness. Okay, let's get a couple of the Spirit Oracle cards to send you off into a good energy right into Freedom Day. For those of you that live in the USA. I'm hearing high-pitched sounds. I don't know what those are. And thank you guys for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. All of that means the world to me. All right, let's get 3 cards. Keep moving forward, even if you're unsure of what the next step is or where it may take you. Trust that you are walking the path you are meant to walk. Remember, we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. So be very trusting with yourself. Listen to your intuition. If you were to get bad vibes off something in your house, like let's say somebody gave you a gift and that gift gives you bad vibes, some of you guys, it would benefit you to get one of these. This is called an evil eye amulet. I think that they're called Turkish blue evil eye. If you just type those words into Google, it'll bring up like bracelets. Also, golden hematite. Gold hematite is the best thing to counteract the evil eye. It's just the best. Because I think we did talk a little bit about evil eye today. All right, what is the next message? Instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop, breathe, and reevaluate. You are doing enough. You guys are enough, okay? Remember to remind yourself that. Even if it doesn't feel like it, don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It's not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Some of you guys could just be spending too much time dwelling on the past is what I'm getting. And so by staying like focused in the present, I feel like that's going to help you guys release the past. Sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make someone miss you or realize that they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know that you deserve better. Yes, if you guys have to walk away from certain people, situations, and things, that's okay, because literally you're doing it because you love and respect yourself, and you've got to protect your peace, you know. Those difficult times will pass. Nothing bad lasts forever. That's literally, these witches and warlocks need to remember that nothing that they do is an eternal, permanent thing, that they are very temporary in whatever effect that they think that they're going to get over on you. So the sun will shine again, the birds will sing, the clouds will clear, and you will be glad that you kept moving forward. So twice about moving forward. You will soon be rewarded for your patience. Hold on. How far? You are far stronger. How far do you think you can go? Because you're so much stronger than you think. I'm so proud of you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. God bless you. Peace be with you. Have a wonderful Freedom Day. Okay. Remember that, thank you everybody that served in the military and everybody that is help the United States. I love you guys so much. This is our 250th year of freedom. Yay! Free speech for us to say whatever we want within reason, because there's still defamation that people can get sued for. But you know what I mean. We have the greatest country. We've got the greatest people. We've got beauty everywhere around us. So make sure you take part in participating in whatever festivities that you want. Okay. I love you guys so much. Peace be with you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Please like, share, subscribe, tap the notification bell. All of that really helps you guys. I love you so much. God bless America, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay. Bye.